There's a scene where Colt finds himself crying in his car to the notably 10-minute version of All Too Well.
What are you doing?
Just chilling down.
You been crying to Taylor Swift?
Doesn't everyone?
Was it always this song? Was it written with this song in mind, or was there other options? How did this come into the movie?
Well, it wasn't always that song, and then for the longest time it was In Excess. There was Never Tear Us Apart, and then it was Harry Nilsson, Without You, which they were all really beautiful songs that worked well in there. But I think Kelly instinct was something was missing in the storytelling of it all, and she was right, and she was the one who had really pushed for the Taylor of it all.
Yeah. I mean, it was, what I realized is that, I mean, those other songs were so beautiful and like perfectly melodramatic, and like, you know, I definitely cried to Harry Nilsson myself, but like the truth is, Jodie and Colt's love story is very modern. It's very messy, it's very fluid, it's very frenetic and kind of free, and all of those songs felt old and stuffy and like melodramatic. And I have always wanted to find a way to include Taylor in a movie of ours, and she's really hard to put in a movie because her songs are so evocative, and she's such an important storyteller, and every word you just like drip into and like memorize and like learn and focus on, and then you put movies on top of that, and it's like it's often a clash. Here we have Colt sitting in a car thinking about his heartbreak to the heartbreak anthem of like the last decade, and she, you know, and it's a woman's voice, by the way, and it's about all the things he's feeling and memories just flooding, and so it's kind of it's the perfect and only song for that moment. Thank God Taylor let us have it.
Ryder's missing. He has fallen in with some shady people.
We'll kill. Call the cops.
We can't call the cops.
Why not?
The studio will know that I am way over budget. They will pull the plug on this. You know that. Please go and find him.
Why me?
You're a stuntman, for God's sake. No one's going to notice whether you're here or not. No offense.
I mean, some taken.
David, you've brought anecdotes from your own career to Colt's story. Could you point to any in particular as examples from your own career that we can see in the film?
As a stunt performer, I had a roommate, actually, Chris O'Hara, who was the stunt coordinator on this film early on in our career. His wife was an animal trainer, and she had a cockatoo. And so there's the cockatoo in the film, which is an inspiration of like
Gracie
the old
with cockatoo.
And
Gracie
was crazy. There's just all these little details from sort of living a life of being on sets and like, you know, seeing trained animals or seeing explosions or seeing people in alien costumes eat craft service. Like, it's just the wacky world that we live that was really fun to come to life.
3, 2, 1, action. So good.
Oh, good.
You've come from a long line of action projects from Marvel and Black Panther. How different was that from what you had done before?
The scenes felt really organic in the sense that we build a lot of the vignettes and then figure out how to use them, right? So we figure out how to use some of these vignettes and like moves so that once we get in the space, we're like, oh, we have this much space, we're gonna do this, what would work here? We're not gonna use CGI on any of these different things, so what's a very practical move to make this seem pretty cool? So even in that scene in the kitchen where I do a suplex on one of them, we kind of figured out that we were gonna do that on the day. So I was like, oh, this is a great time to do the suplex. And then they start doing the math in their head and saying, is this gonna be safe and work in this environment? And then we do it. So the stunt team is responsible for so much of the kind of intellectual aspect of it. So like, we'll all participate in the creativity, but they have to make sure that the math works, that the physics works, that everyone's gonna go home safely at the end of the day.